Hello and welcome to my Mordhau guide for choosing a weapon. Today I'm going to be taking you through a flowchart that I've made on helping you determine what kind of weapon you'd like to use on the battlefield of Mordor. Mordhau. So I'm just going to start off the flowchart with the first question. And the question is, do you want to win games? And I mean, obviously you only have two options here. It's either a yes or a no. If you're on my team, it's a big fat no. So let's start there. So this is where we're going to pick up the pace a little bit. The follow-up question is, are you okay with self-harm? Now, I mean, I know that sounds bad, but hear me out, okay? So obviously your options are yes or no. Let's say you go with yes. You're a fan of self-harm. Your next option is horizontal wrist cuts or vertical wrist cuts. And I mean, it's blunt, but it's absolutely true. Let's say you go vertical wrist cuts, you're probably going to be using your fists in Mordhau. If you're horizontal and you're not fully committed, I mean, you're probably going with throwing knives. Both of them are absolute dog shit. If you're face-to-face with someone with fists, you should be winning that fight. I mean, anytime I see anybody with fists, I just chop their head off in one clean blow and move on to the next guy. And I'm not going to lie, I absolutely use throwing knives. I love them. They're funny. You kill someone in the head, you hear like a big dunk in games. So, I mean, funny. If you see a crowd of people, you just chuck them down. You might hit one of them because, you know, lag and all. You know what I'm saying? But who doesn't love a little bit of chaos every once in a while? Back to the flowchart. Let's say you selected no if you're okay with self-harm. Then you're given the question, do you have good aim? And obviously, yes or no questions. Let's begin with no. Let's say you do not have good aim. The follow-up to that is, do you like single-player games? And there's only two options. Of course, there's yes and double yes. For yes, you probably play with catapults and ballista a lot. You just, you know, sit at the back of the map somewhere. Probably don't even see a teammate the entire game. The only time you see one is if someone's walking up to you, hitting you in the back of the head because they want to use it. I mean, they're dickheads, whatever. It's fine. Double yes, you're going to be using the toolkit because you just build like little doo-doo things. I don't see the point of it. I tried it. Don't understand it. I'm probably doing it wrong. I'm dumb as hell. But regardless, single-player games, there's only yes and double yes. So let's say you have good aim. I mean, you play CSGO. You're great at it. You're top of the silver ladder. You're, you know, one heck of a guy. The follow-up question to that is the game lagging? And I mean, it's Mordhau, right? Come on, it's obvious. Is it lagging? Your two options are yes and sometimes. If it is lagging, the weapon that you're going to want to be using is firebombs, of course. I heard in game, I don't know if this is true, that apparently when you use firebombs, it causes the game to lag. And there was one game that we were playing, everybody had like 400, 500 ping, whatever, and there was like 4 or 5 people on each team using firebombs. So was it a coincidence? I don't know. It seems to add up. You know, 50 ping per firebomb on each team? I don't know. Makes sense. Who knows? The follow-up question for sometimes is fatty McBig large. Now, important question here. I mean, it's quite obvious. Do you want to be a fat guy in game? Let's face it. If it's yes, you're going to be using a crossbow. If it's no, you're going to be using any of the other bows because the reload animation for the crossbow, it just looks like you're sitting down taking a dump or something. So chances are you're going to be a fat guy. So that wraps it up for the first half. We then begin back at the top for do you want to win games? And we're going to select yes because this is the other path. The follow-up question to this is, do you want to face the enemy head-on? And again, just easy yes or no question. If it's a no, then you're going to be using the Evening Star. I have no idea what that weapon looks like. I have no idea if it is some kind of sword. I have only died to it by getting whacked or killed or whatever in the back of the head. So that is 100% accurate. That is not a lie. Yeah, moving on. Do you want to face the enemy head-on? Yes. Let's say you chose yes. Again, follow-up question similar to the other side of the board. Is the game lagging? And again, we have the same options. We have yes and sometimes. We can begin with yes. So the follow-up question on the flowchart would be, is your scroll wheel functional? And it's a yes or no question. Let's say no, you have a computer mouse from the 1980s. Whoop-de-doo. Then you're going to want to be using pole arms because you really want that far reach. They're pretty fast, but you can't stab people, right? And that's what a lot of people do is they'll just spam the mouse wheel up. So with pole arms, you'll at least be able to do some damage swinging back and forth. On the opposite end, you have a functional mouse wheel that's great. Then your weapon of choice is going to be spears because they have really good extended reach. The stab gets by most people. They don't realize that they're actually going to get hit before they're dead. Really good weapon. If you're on a horse, you're going to be charging at people. You're not going to be anywhere near them, and you're just going to be taking them out. It's very fast and easy. These are noob killers. You know, they get by pretty much most people. They don't realize how good the range is until they're dead. Good weapons, good weapon. And then if we scoot back on the flowchart a little bit, we're going to be going back to, yes, you want to win games, but is the game lagging? You choose sometimes. Then you're going to need something really reliable. And so the follow-up question to that is, do you want accidental teammate kills, or do you want to kill enemies without even realizing it? And then so out of this, we have two options. We have accidental teammate kills and then enemies without even realizing it. And let's say you're on my team, then of course you're going to be going for the accidental teammate kills because you're going to see me charging in there 1v1ing someone. You know, the battle's epic, we're clashing swords, and then you realize that you want to help. So you think, wow, what an easy kill. My teammate's already attacking someone, so I'm going to sneak up from behind and stab him in the back. However, what you actually do is you swipe to the right, chop my head off, and then get killed by the enemy. And if this is the case, then chances are you're going to be using two-handed swords. A lot of the time, people just like to go in and swing left and right without any regard for whether or not you're fighting. A lot of the times, it could fuck you up, too, because you're going for a left-handed swing, and then you hit someone that's trying to charge in on your team, and then you miss the swing, and then you get stabbed in the face. Overall, not great. So, a very effective strategy when you're on my team. And on the other side of the coin, let's say you want to kill enemies without even realizing it. Then the obvious choice is the biggest, most badass weapon is the battle axe. Make sure when you're using this weapon, you turn your character's voice pitch
all the way down to the lowest possible option. That way, when you're charging on the field, you can hear the lowest, deepest grunting man noises from across the battlefield.
Great strategy, distracts people. You'll be chopping heads off 3 at a time. I highly recommend it. Great weapon of choice. Not as reliable when it's lagging. You'll find you're swinging through people. But regardless, you'll be getting kills like no tomorrow. And then the final piece of the puzzle I have in this flowchart is, are you a piece of shit? And so the only answer to that is without a fucking doubt. And if you're following along still, then the weapons you're going to want to be using are shields and one-handed swords. Whenever I'm up against someone with both of these, I have no idea how to kill them. I've seen people dogpile on one guy with a shield, and he'd continuously block everything and run away and then take out other people elsewhere. I have no idea how to deal with these people. I'm sure there's a way, but regardless, I find these people a big steaming pile of poo. Anyways, thanks for watching this little flowchart guide video thing I've put together. All of these are based on my own experience I had over maybe like 12 hours of playing Mordhau. Great game. I just want the lag to end, because when the lag ends, that's when you feel that you're able to just pull off the most badass fucking shit. I'm not even going to try and convince you guys on this. I mean, I'm just going to let the game speak for its goddamn self.